So this video is going to be breeds and characteristics, and it's also going to be about possibly what breed to show your horse as. It's most likely going to be probably a 3-part video, but you never know. So when you're first starting out, figure out what breed of horse you want to show your model as. Well, the most important thing to have is a breed book. This is a breed book. It's just kind of like the ultimate horse thing, and it's just got a bunch of breeds in it. Now, by all means, this is not all the horse breeds in this book. There is a lot of breeds of horses, and there's a lot of combinations of a lot of other breeds that make half-breeds. But this has a general, feel of most horses that a lot of people know, like the Lipizzan Honor and so forth. When you're doing this, and you're looking around for, let's say, like a Belgian warm blood. Okay, so you got a horse that you think maybe could be shown as a Belgian warm blood. Well, first of all, you say, okay, well, can this horse be this color? Okay, so let's say your model is chestnut. Okay, so when you're looking for, usually a lot of these, they tell what color they can be, but sometimes they don't always tell, but usually it's under body, and this one does not say that, so let's find one that does, because it would help for me to show you what I mean. Oh, here we go. So here's one for color. Okay, so this is a Shaganan Arabian, I think that's how you say that. But here it says, the prominent color is gray, as in here, but all Arabian colors do occur. So that means, all original Arab colors. So then, if you want to see what colors an Arab can be, you go back to the front of the page where most of it is, and you find the color. Then it says, chestnut, gray, bay, as here, and black are the Arabian coat colors. So, now if you have, let's say, an Arab that is part Arab, like a paint horse, such as, like an Appaloosa, or it has not a solid color. A solid color horse is like this. This is a bay. So this guy is solid, meaning he has no white on his body. A tricolor, meaning more than one color, would be like paint horses, Appaloosas, anything with white on the body, except for roan. Roan does not count. It could be considered a tricolor because it kind of is 2 colors, but it also kind of isn't because it's not really a lot of it. So, yeah, it just depends. And so when you're looking at an Arab, since we have this one here and it's easiest to go for. So, I have 2 molds here. Let me grab these guys down here. Okay. Alright. So, I have 2 Arabs. So, first of all, you get your Arab mold and you say, okay, well, is the color right? And you say, okay, well, this guy is definitely a Palomino. Can an Arab be a Palomino? No, an Arab cannot be a Palomino unless it's part Arab. So this guy would have to be put in the part Arab class, so he'd be a Palomino Arab. Next of all, you go to your next mold. You say, okay, well, can this guy be an Arab? Alright, but the problem is that this guy has kind of, if you want to call a factory mistake in the coloring. So he is supposed to be a chestnut, because you can see he does not have dark points, meaning the legs, the muzzle, around the eyes, and usually the mane and tail are an indication of color. So like here, this guy has black points, black mane and tail, and a black muzzle. So this guy is bay. This guy is supposed to be a chestnut. But the problem is that his mane and tail are so white that he could be considered a silver bay because of his tail. But it says on his papers that he's supposed to be flaxen. Now flaxen is actually many different colors. So usually flaxen has a lot of gold, a lot of brown, a lot of black, different shades of those in there, white, a lot of earthy colors, you know, a lot of coppers and golds, a lot of browns and blacks, things like that. So it's not supposed to be stock white like this guy is with a little bit of gray in it. So this guy is technically a bad flaw because he's going to be a little bit more tricky to show because a lot of judges will pick up on the mane and tail thing. But if you have a paper that says, you know, he's supposed to be what color he is, then, you know, you're generally okay. But if you don't show him without a paper indication, you may be in trouble. So, because with him, Arabians cannot be Silver Bay. It's a gene, and it does not occur in Arabs. Now, it does occur in Morgans, let's see, what does it do? Quarter horses, things like that, but it does not occur in Arab horses. So, that's why he's a little bit tricky to show, because then, of course, you know, I could just show him as what he is, but you can't. Now, the next thing to do is, when you're showing for an Arab, you say, okay, well, does my mold really match the Arab? Okay, so first, you look at the head. Okay, so, you know, he's got a nice dished head here, big eyes, small little ears, and a silky mane and tail, small muzzle, large nostrils, shorter back, high tail carriage, long legs, and, you know, so I'll just read through some of this. The body of the back of, let's see, the Arabian back is short and slightly concave. The loin is strong and the crop is long and level. And then the tail, the root of the tail is set noticeably high in the crop. In movement, it is carried arched and well up. So some of these things you have to take into consideration. So when you're looking for your model, which is this guy here, turn him around here, you say, okay, well, does my Arab fit the picture? Yes, he does. He's got a nice dished head. But now remember, not all Arabs have to have really dished heads. This guy here is an Egyptian Arab. There's many different Arabian breeds in the Arabian breed. So there's Egyptian, Crabette, Russian, Polish, and there's a combination of all of those. My own horse is a Russian/Crabette Arab. So he's going to be a little bit more on the stockier side. He's not going to be so, like, very dished head, stuff like that. So, yeah. But then you start looking at, you know, the limbs. Okay, so does my horse match his limbs? Yes, they do. They're nice and clean. They don't have a lot of excess wear, meaning like feathers and all that. Because a lot of Arabians don't have all this fluffy feathering down here unless it's in winter. But still, a lot of people chop it off because, of course, it makes them a little bit more clean. But you should see my boy. He's got fuzz all the way down his leg. Because I don't worry about trimming it. Because I don't show him. But, you know, some breeds actually require that you keep the feathers on the legs. Such as a Frisian, which is supposed to be on the horse. So that's that. Then you look at his tail. Okay, yep, he's got a high tail carriage. Does he have a short back? Yes, he does. Does he have a nice arched neck? Yep. Yep. So this guy is a good representative of an Arab breed. Let's go to a Peterstone. Okay, so this is a Peterstone. Alright. Now, the only thing with Peterstones that really kind of get on my nerves is that they do a good job on the body of the Arab, you know, showing off, you know, the short back and nice long legs and the high tail carriage and all that. But the only thing is that they really don't do a good job is the muzzle of the Arab here. So this side looks a little bit better than this side. It's very what you call clean cut, you know, it's kind of too clean. It needed to have a little bit more feel on the muzzle. It just kind of feels out of place. And I would have liked to see a little bit smaller of a muzzle, because Arabs do have a little bit tendency to have a little bit smaller, but very large nostrils. And the ears just seem a little bit too big to me. They should be a little bit smaller. They just seem way too big. So, but this breed, I mean, it still is a very good mold, and it's very nice, you know, to look at and so forth. But you know, nobody's perfect and so forth. So that's kind of like that, you know. So, yeah. Okay, so when you decided that your Arab breed is now perfect, then you say, okay, well, all right, now I need a name, check them on the list, and you put them in the box, ready to go to the show. And usually most shows allow 3 models per class, and usually if you want to put an extra one in there, you have to pay $1 or something. Sometimes it happens. So now let's talk about Andalusians. Now, a lot of Andalusians and Lipizzaner are around. Now, with Andalusians, Lipizzaner, and Arabians, instead of being born white, their coat color is a dark bay or black. They can also be, you know, a little bit darker, like super black, you know, things like that, bay, usually a dark color. And over a period of years, they turn white, which is very cool because we have a Lipizzaner colt at our barn, and he's starting to go white now, and he's got this big white dappling effect going on all over his butt, and it's kind of funny because he doesn't have it anywhere else except on his tushy. So, yeah. So, when you're picking out, like, an Andalusian breed, he can still be a dark color. Now, Andalusians may not always turn white. They could be born black or bay, and then, you know, never turn white. So it says here, the unusual colors are bay and shades of gray, as here, and the characteristics of Millberry shade is very striking. A Millberry is when you have a white body and you have like this bright red mane and tail going on. There were strains of the old Spanish horses that were spotted and party colored, meaning 2 colors. The coat colors of the American Appaloosa and the Pintalusa are inherited from the Spanish stock imported by the conquistadors in the 16th century. Sorry guys, I just messed that up. My voice is going out here. So, yeah, but usually they can be either bay, black, white, you know. So, you know, and Lusitano is kind of a very nice horse color too, and they've got lots of different colors. So, yeah. But, okay, so let's go ahead and let's talk about some more horses. Alright, so I've got 4 examples here. So let's start with this guy first. Now, as you know, the quarter horse class is very, very, very big. Usually, very big. So, generally what I do is, if you don't have a model that you think is very, 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 very good, what I would do is show that horse in the other class, because you do have a little bit better chance if you're showing against, you know, other breeds and other people that forgot to put their horse in the quarter horse class. So, you know, I've done that on more than one occasion, because the quarter horse class can be, you know, 3 or 4 tables, and that's really hard to win against when you have, you know, everybody's competing against you and so forth. So, now, you know, that's basically what I do. Now, this guy here is supposed to be a red roan. Peter Stone does their red roan with these little specks. Now, this has kind of a problem, because you can see right there, see how it's not really all the way around? It kind of blurs off there a little bit. That's the problem with this style of specking, because it will do that, and usually it's very hard to fix, because then you'd have to repaint the whole horse and then put the specs back on. So, yeah. So this guy here would probably be shown as a spotted draft, and a lot of times with this color, we're out of time, so we'll continue this on the next video.